بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وتاج المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله المتقين وصحابة المجاهدين ومن سار على نهجهم واقتدى بأثرهم إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وتقى. اللهم ارزقنا إخلاص القول والعمل. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل يا رب العالمين. We continue with the Risalah of al-Harith al-Muhasibi rahmatullahi alayhi rahmatan wasi'a. And we completed what he spoke about in terms of an-niyyah, when it comes to sincerity and being sincere when it comes to the actions that we do for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. He begins a new section and he says, وَالْزَمْ تَقْوَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلْ وَالْزَمْ تَقْوَى اللَّهِ. Hold tight to taqwa. Hold tight to being conscientious of Allah Azza wa Jal. Hold tight to being conscientious and cognizant of Allah Ta'ala in all of your affairs and in every single thing that you do. And he cites a hadith of our Prophet ﷺ that says, فَإِنَّ الْمُسْلِمَ مَنْ سَلِمَ الْمُسْلِمُونَ مِنْ لِسَانِهِ وَيَدِهِ. Because a Muslim, the true Muslim, is a Muslim in which other Muslims are protected from what? Protected from his tongue and protected from that person's hands. Our Prophet ﷺ did not just say things for the sake of saying things. Our Prophet ﷺ would say things in a very specific manner, sometimes for very specific people, and sometimes in very specific circumstances. Here, the Prophet ﷺ, he said lisan before yad. Yad, a person is, the true Muslim is a Muslim, the other Muslims are protected from the tongue and his hands. But why did the Prophet ﷺ put lisan first, the tongue first? Because the way that we harm people with our tongue is usually easier than what we do when we harm people with our hands. And likewise, it happens a lot more, and that is why the Prophet ﷺ did taqdeem of lisan and taqdeem of a person's tongue. Look at how he begins speaking about taqwa. He begins speaking about taqwa, but he cites a hadith that has to do with other people. So often we think that taqwa is just about, and this is a huge aspect of taqwa, my personal relation with Allah Ta'ala, but you can never truly attain your relation with Allah Ta'ala except if you mend your affairs with people. And you are careful of how you treat other people. And that's why he puts taqwa, and right away he cites a hadith that has to do with how you deal with one another. And wallahi, sometimes we think, well, I'll say it to his face, right? I'll say these words that I have to say, and I'll say it right to the person's face. Or I'm not backbiting. Or you know what, let me just say it to his face and let me just say things. Wallahi, leave it. Leave it for the sake of Allah. Leave it for the sake of Allah. If there is a name that they don't like, don't avoid it. Just avoid saying it. Wallahi, it's funny when you're younger. And I've been in your shoes. I've been in college as well, and I've had friends, and we used to make fun of each other all the time. It's not any different. But wallahi, when you study the words of our Prophet ﷺ and how much emphasis there is in how you use your tongue and how careful we have to be about how we harm another individual, whether we're backbiting or not, whether we say it to their face or not, anytime you feel that this is going to harm your brother or your sister, avoid it. Even a name that they don't like, avoid it. Even a memory that you recall and you know that they were embarrassed by it, that you keep bringing it up, you know that they do not like it, and sometimes it's very obvious from a person's face whether they like it or not. Avoid it, because this is taqwa. This is taqwa. This is being cognizant of Allah Ta'ala in every action that we do. This is being conscious of Allah Ta'ala in every aspect of our lives. We ask Allah Ta'ala for tawfiq. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه.